Sound like a lazy trapaholics, man.
Trapaholics. Oh, what was the news he had this week?
He's coming to streaming platforms.
Shouts out to Trapaholics. You feel me?
He's dropping a playlist, I believe, on platforms.
Yo, what is going on? This is the Highly Advised Podcast. This is Relaxing _Jackson. I am back with my amigos and compadres yet again. Yes, we are here. I have the glasses on. You can see the glare, but if you can see my eyes, you can see that I am here. How are you guys doing tonight?
Man,
you like that, right? I saw your smile, Spence. You got a little giggle out of that.
Hey, man, pat on the back. Pat on the back. Now, I'm doing pretty good, man. I can't complain any. It's another week. The weather's changing, of course, in the month of September. So, you know how you got to start the day off. Wear a sweater, end up in a T-shirt by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, other than that, that's the only problem I'm having right now. Otherwise, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Lau?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
What are you, Andre 3000, man?
Nah, man. God is the greatest. Shout out to everybody. It's your boy, Big Cozy, Too Cozy, a.k.a. the main event, a.k.a. the original bad guy, a.k.a. I'll say it to your face and knock you the fuck out. You know, that's me. So shout out to me. So what's up, listeners? How you doing for episode 73? And we're going to have a good episode. You know, we have some topics to go through on this lovely Monday evening, you know, right after the biggest event that just passed 24 mother effing hours ago, which is what, Nigel? Which is what?
The beginning of the football season.
Exactly, yes, man. Sir. It took you a long time, man.
I mean, the football season is pretty good so far, of course. As y'all all know, like I keep up with it. I'm more of a casual sports fan in terms of like football. So in my case, I did catch the Brady one, the Brady game where they ended up winning. So, and also shout outs to the Steelers for actually winning their first game of the season as well. So
yes.
Steelers.
Well, so the Steelers got a good win yesterday.
Yeah, you got a good win over a good team. My team lost. So I can't really talk trash. So, but that's okay. But at the time of this recording, listeners, it's the Ravens versus the Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. And guess what? We were at Allegiant Stadium. So we know how nice the stadium is. We know how nice the crowd is going to be in there. You know, shouts out to the Raiders and shouts out to the Ravens. Let's go, Lamar Jackson.
You know, I never root for the Ravens winning, personally. I'm always glad when anybody from the AFC North loses. I saw that the Browns lost to the Chiefs. I was extremely happy about that. Patrick Mahomes came in, did his thing. Not only did he beat the Browns, but he simultaneously got me a win in fantasy football.
Is that your quarterback in Final Fantasy? I said Final Fantasy. Is that your? All right, cut that. Restart. Is that your quarterback in football?
All right, I got to cut. Okay. All right, hold on.
Hey,
cut that.
I'll just ask it. I'll ask it.
Okay.
No,
okay. Go
all
ahead.
right, go ahead.
Yo, so is that your quarterback in Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
I said this shit with supreme confidence. Yo.
All right, so that's your quarterback from fantasy football?
Yeah, that's my quarterback for fantasy football. Like, I got him. I got Najee Harris in there. You know, he's my running back. I got, you know, a couple good people here and there. I got some people from your team too, believe it or not.
I mean, if you want to win, you have to.
Y'all didn't win yesterday.
All right. I didn't know I was out here to be disrespected.
I was just saying.
I didn't know I was doing this podcast to be disrespected.
I'm stating a fact.
It sounds like disrespect.
Yeah. What I will tell you is this: you just got to make sure you keep that same energy when at the end of the season. Because I remember I think it was last season, Steelers were doing good. The next thing you know, when y'all were losing, everybody was on you. And it was like,
oh, yeah, we were the 1-11-1. Thank you, Spence. We were the 1-11-1.
You know, I'm not mad about it because that, you know, it is what it is. That happened last year. We lost. It's a new year. I know my team won.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Listen, I thoroughly remember the football season starting off last year, and when we were potting, I think that was like your sentiment. Hey, we won.
Matter of fact, did y'all win yesterday? I don't even pay attention to your team. Oh, okay, so you can't tell you anything either. Who am I talking to? Not a winner. I can tell you that.
Yo, you gotta keep that same spirit at the end of the season.
Yeah, keep that same energy, though.
Listen, when everybody does, if anybody decides to call, listeners, I ask you of this.
Y'all do it anyway.
When the season ends and the Steelers only make it so far, make sure you tag Nigel, Relax, and OG_Jackson and everything that's loser related to the Steelers.
Please do it. And your Ravens fans, if y'all are listening, because I know it's probably one of y'all in here, I think we're going to split the season. So I'm not even really going to talk to y'all too much.
All right, so before Nigel gets on his tangent about, Pittsburgh Steelers and all that other, Steelers. He's not even from Pittsburgh. He's from fucking.
I thought you said something different.
No, he's not even from fucking Pittsburgh.
I'm not from Pittsburgh.
He's from Idaho. He's from Idaho. But listeners, Spence already went ahead and dropped Nigel's social, relaxing Jackson _ I'm not a G real life. Make sure you follow the Highly Advised podcast on Instagram, Advised Highly on Twitter, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. So this way you can catch our faces, leave friendly comments, leave negative comments, or leave, any criticism. So we could come back and cuss y'all out. So that's how we feel, and that's what we're gonna do. And thank you for listening to us. You've been highly advised.
Wow. So yep, show's over with, guys. Catch you later. See you next week.
No, shout out to the listeners. Actually, I was just talking to a friend of mine, and I told him I shot him out on the show because that's what he said to me. Like, pretty much, he said, you guys, he said, don't let anybody say what you guys do isn't a skill, essentially, because we're able to hold conversations with each other and be conversationalists. You know what I mean? Because not everybody is capable of actually like having a conversation with each other. You know what I mean? And some people can't really have conversation at all.
That's true.
Yeah. And I think that's even heightened with like just COVID in itself.
Yeah.
That's preach, man.
Yeah. I mean, hey, listen, I'll say this much, right? I think, you notice it as much now, especially when like all the antics have to go on for people to have conversation today. Like, yeah. I mean, even if you check like last week, right? Or over the weekend.
Okay.
Like with Vitor, Belfort, and Evander.
Yeah.
Like even that type of shit, man. Like,
there was a lot of antics going along with that. It's crazy when boxing says, hey, this is our thoughts on the circus boxing events. That's how you know something is, really messed up. When you actually have people from your own sport saying that, hey, this is a joke, guys. This is a joke. We're sorry, to the point where whatever corrupt commission that was supporting the Triller event, they're like, hey, this is not, we're taking it back. This isn't professional fighting. This is all exhibitions. So Tito Ortiz getting knocked out, face planted, was not on the record. Evander Holyfield being brought in to croak over for a steroid abuser was not on the record. So this promotion Triller, they're making boxing look bad. They make boxing look very bad. Even Jake Paul was like, I got to get away from them. I'm a joke, and I got to get away from them. So, listen. Go ahead. I didn't watch the fight. I hope any listener didn't watch the fight, because that was a real, you're an idiot. You might as well give me money. You give me money. So I just look at it as, I'm happy that Anderson was able to knock out Tito Ortiz. I feel bad for Evander Holyfield, but his ass was like in his 60s. He should have never been fighting. And Vitor Belfort, he looked great. You know why he looked great? Because he got his natural juice back in his body. They weren't doing any drug testing, so he was able to go hard as a bitch. And this is why boxing is where it's at. So, what was your guys' thoughts on that shit?
Well, I was going to say this, right? Now, granted that we do know there are people that say that, okay, boxing now is considered a joke, right? Especially
not all boxing.
Well, we know not all
that
boxing.
Shit.
Yeah,
just that shit.
Yeah, but even then, right? It at the end of the day eclipses anything else that's happening in boxing. So,
True.
So anybody else that more than likely anybody that's watching this stuff is more than likely a casual fan of boxing or barely even watches boxing. So to them, in their mind, they're actually seeing real fighters. Now, I'll say this first and foremost. I think a lot of the outrage now is because Evander Holyfield got dropped, and it was sad. It was unfortunate seeing because I actually watched his fight because I didn't think
you pay for it.
Come on, man.
Of course he did. Come on, man.
A family member paid for it. A family member paid for it.
Shout outs to my uncle Umar. You know
what I mean? There we go.
So, but nonetheless, right? Like I watched that fight, and it's only because it's because of Evander Holyfield. Like I honestly, I wouldn't even say it's just Evander Holyfield, but I think it's because the age of all these fighters. For one, I think celebrity boxing, there's nothing wrong with celebrity boxing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I do believe that when you have, just like you said, Lau, I don't think anybody after a certain age just shouldn't be trying to have any type of combat left in them. You keep that saved away for when you really need it. When someone's really, like in a real life situation. Don't get me wrong, Evander Holyfield, in great shape to be 58, 59, 60 years old, somewhere in that ballpark. Vitor Belfort, he was preparing for De La Hoya. Yep. Because I think I think we all knew it would be a fight for usage, to say the least, right? So I think more than likely he was prepared for that fight. And then, I mean, of course, with Silva and Tito Ortiz, I mean, I think we're 50-50 on our guesses, right? When it came down to this stuff. But at the end of the day, man, I'm not mad at it. I just think it does teach a lesson that a lot of these old fighters that were talking about getting back in the ring and I want to fight again. I got that itch, especially after seeing the Tyson versus Jones fight that happened earlier this year, I believe, right?
Tyson Jones.
Or Tyson, not Tyson Jones.
Yeah, it happened last year.
Last year, yeah. The Tyson fight. So like you
Did
see
it happen last year?
I think it was earlier this year.
Yeah, it was earlier this year. My bad. Yeah. It felt so long ago.
Yeah, listen, man, living in the pandemic is like living in like a hyperbolic chamber to some extent. Time is essentially existed partially over the past like year and a half, it seems like. But nonetheless.
No, I'm listening to what you're saying, man. I don't have anything to say about the Triller event because whatever I'm going to say is not positive. It's going to be very negative. So please get your thoughts out.
Well, Spence, were you done or did you have anything else to say?
I have an age cutoff in so many words, right? If they're going to do it. And listen, like I said, I have no problem with it if it's just from an entertainment standpoint, right? You let it be known up front that it's an exhibition. Don't promote anything like it's a professional fight. Any of these guys that are fighting, no one should be under the belief system that this is the starter kit to getting back in the ring or getting in the ring for the first time. And that's really it. But at the end of the day, I think the Triller, only thing that Triller can do is what people are willing to accept. And if the fighters are willing to jump in there and nobody around them is saying, no, don't do it, which I'm sure there are, but they're not listening. But then you also have like, okay, you're also going to have people that are willing to pay for it. So like, I don't think this is the end. It's the unfortunate truth.
It is. And those are the gullible people or the the young children that just doesn't know any better. You know what I mean? Hey, I got $60. I could blow it on Triller. I just feel like, and honestly, most kids would probably be like, hey, man, I'd rather buy a game or buy myself some shoes. But whatever. I look at it, that event as just like, hey, man, you know what you're getting with it. If you decide to watch it in real time and you're upset that you had to suffer through that, shame on you. The writing was on the wall. And you're right, Spence. I agree. It should just be exhibition. It should be just glorified exhibition bouts. It should just be, hey, celebrity, so this way they could bait in other people. Blueface versus 6ix9ine. Shit like that. Instead of, hey, we want to have a world championship boxer defend his title. No. We're just going to avoid that platform. We're going to go to ESPN Plus or something. Showtime.
Well, see, that's the one thing I will say, though. I don't have a problem with the undercard. If there's an undercard with actual professional fights, with actual professional fighters, and it's disclosed to the public, hey, these are the actual professional fights, I have no problem with that, only because we know the sport of boxing, right? Where only those at the very top of the card are the ones that eat the most and get seen the most. Because no one watches undercard fights.
And boxing, if you're a boxing purist, right. But for a casual fan, yes, they're not really watching the undercard like that. Unless there's a boxer that they're a fan of that happens to be on the undercard. I agree with that. I just think Triller is just very bad. Honestly, I just think it's a bad show.
I think Triller has something on their hands if they try to do like Anderson Silva versus Jake Paul, though. I mean,
that's not going to happen. Jake already came out and said he's not going to do this fight today.
He said he's not going to fight Anderson Silva?
Yeah, today he already said he's not going to do it.
Oh, okay, he wants to fight an actual boxer.
That's what he said.
He said
fight. Well, he said to him for that.
He said him fighting Anderson Silva is going to keep feeding his critics what they've been saying about him. Like, you're finding older people, you're finding people who are not in their prime, you're finding people who are not real boxers. Well, so he said his next fight is going to be an actual boxer. Now, this is what he says. We'll see as time comes along.
I mean, he has to follow through on it now that he's actually said it to the public like that, because he knows that people are paying attention to him. So I feel like, from Triller, I don't really expect more than these like circus type fights. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's what they've been doing. That's what they're going to keep on doing. That's what makes them money. And I mean, at this point in time, it doesn't bother me only because we all know what it is.
Yeah. Like exactly. Like, we all understand what the reality of this whole thing is, right? So at the end of the day, and to me, I see it like this. I accept it for entertainment. What the purpose of what they're doing, I accept Triller for what they do, right? So I have no problem with what they're doing. Now, if they choose to go into the direction to actually be a promotion, an actual legitimate boxing promoting company or whatnot,
right? Like
at some point they actually have to make that transition. But until then, like you said, because I agree with what you said, they have something special on their hands.
Well, I think if they can actually get somebody who's worth the time of boxing somebody like Anderson Silva, then they can actually try to do something. Because he had the boxing fight with I can't remember his name at the moment, Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
And then he had this Tito Ortiz fight. So I mean, maybe they can keep on working with these older fighters. Mike Tyson already said he won't work with them anymore. But maybe they can get Machine Gun Kelly in there to fight somebody.
Like Conor McGregor?
Like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor Productions.
Listen, man, it looked like Conor was trying to already get to that fight already at the VMAs, man. From what the pictures look like, it looked like he was really I don't know. It looked like Conor wanted to get busy.
Hey man, shouts out to the Mac, because after that he was taking pictures with Trey Songz, Wyclef Jean, Young Blue. So he was taking pictures with other artists. That's probably gets more respect than MGK. Now, this is not a knock on MGK, but in the community of rap music, he's not favored by a lot of people. So, whatever. Do you listen to MGK, Spence?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
But this is the only reason why we're mentioning him because of Conor. We're not mentioning him because of his music.
Right, I agree with that. I was gonna ask both of y'all. Did y'all because I might have mentioned this before, but did you guys realize he has like I believe he has like a totally different type of music career also where he's like actually successful in?
Yeah, very successful. Yeah, he's doing very well for himself.
Yeah, as a rock artist.
Yeah. I'll talk to him for that.
Yeah,
as a rapper, no.
Okay, exactly.
Sure.
We're not talking about his other talents. We're talking about him being a rapper. And Conor called him a Vanilla Ice white rapper and all that. Some people thought that was funny. And then I don't know, man. There's not much to say. It just there's conflicting reports. He pushed Conor or he denied Conor. I'm like, who cares? I just think it's funny that Conor, he's always at these random places. Like last month, he was taking pictures with 2 Chainz, and now he's taking pictures with Trey Songz. It seems like the black community likes Conor.
Yeah, they fuck with Conor.
He was just with, you just saw him with a picture with Drake's dad, like what, last week, right after CLB.
Yeah, exactly.
Conor McGregor said, I don't even know who MGK is. I just know who Megan Fox is. I was like, yo, Conor McGregor is a wild man, yo.
Hey, man.
But at the same time, he knows that regardless.
It's like, what's he gonna do?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, you might have had 100 street fights, 1,000. You could have 100 street fights. Are you really going to try to fight someone that was once a world champion in a mixed martial arts sport? Like, it doesn't make sense.
And the only people he's lost to the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, people say they try Mike Tyson. I wouldn't.
Yeah, why would you? Unless you got something to lift Mike Tyson off his feet with, which is, that good old cast iron. No. Yeah, a 40, they'll give him an uppercut. Or some type of shotgun, but with your bare fist.
Nah, you might end up dead for real.
Exactly. If you're untrained and you want to fight 50-year-old Mike Tyson, hey, man.
I was having a conversation with someone about this like a while back. This was before Mike actually ended up fighting. And they were like, man, listen, if I had to fight Mike, I would fight Mike Tyson. I'm like, bro, you're going to lose no matter what you think. Like you said, Lau, he is professionally trained. What you may know he's forgotten and learned twice and then forgot all about it again and knock somebody out. Like,
I'm not fighting Mike Tyson unless I was ready to be like, okay, I know I might go to the hospital, but I'm going to still fight him. If you're comfortable with going to the hospital, breathing through a tube for a few weeks, then fight him. I didn't watch the VMAs. I know that's where the Conor McGregor, Machine Gun Kelly incident happened at the VMA Awards. I'm not going to watch it. It's a bunch of bullshit anyway from what I've read on Twitter. An award show that I won't be watching, but I'm pretty sure that we will talk about is the BT Hip Hop Awards. Listen, I don't watch none of these fucking crooked award shows. They're all fucking crooked, all shammed, criteria, all fucked up. It's a joke. It's like you can have better entertainment wiping your ass after shitting than watching these fucking shows. These shows are not. They're for teenagers or people who just watch fucking mainstream music videos.
This is why you wanted this segment. This is why you wanted this segment to be so long.
It's such a way to describe not liking something.
I'm just saying, did you guys watch the VMAs?
Nah, I didn't watch the shit.
Will you watch the BT Hip Hop Awards?
No, I'm not going to watch that shit either.
Okay, so
I will watch the freestyles though.
I guess what I'm saying is not crazy then.
I mean,
I guess what I'm saying is not crazy. Is it crazy?
Listen, man.
Shouts out to BT, but they got crappy award shows.
Hey, listen, man. What I'll say is this: I love BT. I got nothing. Of course, it's black entertainment television.
You haven't watched nominations up for this award show.
You haven't watched BET since you graduated college.
Dude, I just graduated last month.
Yeah, okay.
But in case you haven't had a chance to watch the BET Awards, right? In case you haven't had a chance to watch the BET Awards, or you weren't familiar with like who the nominations are, they came out with the nominations earlier in the week, or last week, I guess. And some of these things are pretty interesting. Let's just start. Let's just kind of start all the way through, right? So
I'm curious.
So for best collaboration, we actually have 21 Savage and Metro Boomin featuring Drake, Mr. Right Now.
Boo.
Bia featuring Nicki Minaj, Whole Lot of Money remix.
Shouts out to Bia.
Yeah, shouts out to Bia. Shouts out to Bia, man. Cardi B featuring Meg Thee Stallion, WAP.
Didn't that song come out last year?
Yeah.
Not. Did it?
It did.
I thought it came out. I thought it came out.
No, it definitely did come out
last year.
There was a big talk of the town of it last year. When it
was a
out.
big deal when Cardi B put out her single this year because it was the first one since WAP.
Yep. So it's interesting how, once again, they love putting old shit on the categories.
So I was looking at these categories to a certain degree before.
Let's finish this category.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, let's finish this off first. So after Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion's WAP, we have DJ Khaled, which doesn't make sense, featuring Lil Baby and Lil Durk, Every Chance I Get. We have Drake featuring Lil Durk, Laugh Now and Cry Later. And then best collaboration, we have, last but not least, Free Him Until They Free Him, Pooh Shiesty featuring Lil Durk, Back in Blood. I'm just gonna go out here and say it. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna go through all the extra opinions. Back in Blood featuring Pooh Shiesty featuring Lil Durk, hands down should win. Though I wouldn't be surprised if WAP ends up winning because it's the more popular song. But Back in Blood,
I agree with you 100%, Spence.
Yeah, like as Back in Blood was too big of a song this year.
That's fair enough.
And it came out in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it's actually this year, so I'll give you that. All right, so the next category being Song of the Year, Back in Blood, Pooh Shiesty, Lil Durk, Late at Night, Roddy Ricch, Laugh Now, Cry Later, Drake, Lil Durk, Up, Cardi B, WAP, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, and A Whole Lot of Money, Bia featuring Nicki Minaj. Wow, you don't seem to be pleased.
No. Do any of these scream Song of the Year to you? Honestly, technically speaking, by the BET award logic, I guess WAP should win, right? Because that was like that broke all sorts of fucking records.
I mean, technically, I guess you're right.
Even though it came out last year and we're almost towards the end of 2021, but WAP is on here, so technically it should win because it broke all sorts of records. If WAP doesn't get it, probably Up, because Up was another mainstream success.
I think they just need clear cutoff dates. That's all they need, yeah.
And the year 2021.
Honestly, I think we had this conversation last year. Honestly, what I think this is if they're putting out the show in September of this year, they're probably going from September. I'm assuming it's from September of last year all the way to September of this year.
I think with WAP, you're kind of that's a reach. I don't know when WAP came out, but that's been out for a bit.
I don't think it should be so. All right, if the award show is later in the year, your majority of your category needs to be from the year that the award show is in. If the award show is like January, February, then I understand 100% why you're doing last year's stuff. This is September, right? And this award doesn't seem like it's going to be September tomorrow. It's going to be September later in the week. Later in the month. And the nominations are written from last year's songs. So I put it like this. I don't like, you already know how I feel about BT Awards nominations. They're not good. They're not great criteria. It looks like it's somebody who's picking it under the rock. They're not actually in tune with all the music and all the genres and shit like that. There's no reason why WAP should be on here. When WAP won Mad Awards last year, and now it's going to win Mad Awards again.
Real quick, WAP came out in August of last year, and the BET Awards are coming on in October.
Jesus, man. That's crazy.
So there's that.
All right, so let's go on to the next topic, listeners. Best new hip hop artist. You have Blast, but it's spelled as BLX. X is in X-ray, S is in Sierra, and T is in Tango. Then you have Coi Leray.
It wasn't even necessary. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, just in case somebody couldn't understand. Coi Leray, Don Tolliver, Moray, however, Pooh Shiesty, Young Blue. Guys, come on.
Don Tolliver. We can move on.
Okay.
Pooh Shiesty.
Come. I agree with Spence. That's the only fucking rapper from the group. So by default.
Either it'd be Pooh Shiesty or Young Blue for me.
If we're going between those two, it's definitely Pooh Shiesty for a fact.
I don't know because I agree. I think he's the better artist. Well, you got it. I'm gonna give it to you. I'm not even gonna go back and forth.
Is hip hop, auto-tune at the highest level, or is it actually rapping?
Hey, listen, man.
All right. I just wanted to know.
Hey, man.
Whatever happened to the
top of the morning, man. Top of the morning.
All right. Best duo group: 21 Savage, Metro Boomin, Chris Brown and Young Thug, City Girls, Future and Uzi, Baby and Dirk, or Migos.
Yeah, shouts out to 21. How's he on here, yo?
Hey, man, they said best duo group. So I guess him and Metro are a great duo.
You know what it is? Because last year, I believe it was best group. And they were in there. And we said no.
Didn't that album come out last year?
Yep.
Listen, man, we already know what we're playing by. So
right.
No need to even trip off of it.
Lil Baby, Lil Durk, then. That's the one I'm going with.
Yeah. Migos.
They will be going. They put out an album this year. It was good.
Does it matter? Does this really matter? Okay. Lyricist of the year: Benny the Butcher, Drake, J. Cole, Lil Baby, Meg the Stallion, and Nas.
I don't see how it could be anybody other than Benny. I'm going to tell you why, right? Because
go ahead.
At the end of the day, I don't think that. I mean, we all know the argument about him just not having any bad verses, and he's definitely been rapping a bit this year. So how could you not give it to Benny the Butcher?
So I would choose Benny the Butcher, right? But the people that are going to win, it's either going to be Cole, Baby, or Megan. Those three are going to be one of the people being selected. If Cole wins, I won't be mad at it because he's a warlord. So shouts out to him. But if the other two win it, I'm just going to leave it as that.
Listen, I'll put it like this. I'm somewhat similar with you. I'm going with Benny the Butcher. If anybody else wins, I believe it'd probably be Meg the Stallion. And if it's not, I'll put it like this. Either it'd be Benny. But see, that's the hardest thing about this because we just leave out Nas out of this whole thing.
No, shouts out to Nas, for real.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Nas.
Yeah,
J. Cole, at this point in time, is a better rapper than Nas. At this point in time.
I don't know if I can say that.
He put out a better album than Nas.
Who, J. Cole?
Yeah. You don't think the off season is better than King's Disease 2?
I can't. I haven't listened to it enough to make that.
I don't know.
That's a real conversation, not this shit that we're going through. All right.
Well, I think, before we move on, one more thing. I don't see how you can make this category and not give it to Benny, though. You know what I mean? Just because of the way he's been rapping. But go ahead.
All right. So for hip hop artist of the year, you got Cardi B, Drake, J. Cole, Lil Baby, Meg the Stallion, and Tyler the Creator. So me personally, it should be between Drake or Cole or Baby or Tyler. But I'm just going to go with, I guess Drake.
Yeah, it's kind of hard not to give it to Drake, man.
Yeah. Who I think is going to win is probably Megan or Baby.
Why you suck your teeth, Spence? Why you have a problem with that?
I just don't. I feel like I feel like if out of the 5 artists or 6 artists that are sitting here, Drake is not on. Drake is the last person I'm thinking about. Is one of the last people I'm thinking of.
Why is that?
Yeah, why is that? That's interesting. Because he had the biggest album. Nobody sold higher than him right now.
Right.
Out of everybody on this list.
Right. Are we talking about are we playing the popular game in terms of who we think should win? So let me ask.
What's hip hop artist of the year? Like, what is the criteria for somebody to win that?
For Spence, what is it?
Yeah, for you, what is that?
I guess to me, I'm just thinking of who's the better artist out of all of these in terms of like, because to me, when I'm thinking hip hop artist of the year, I'm thinking who's the best artist.
Yeah, I think Drake.
No, if we're talking in Spence, my bad. Go ahead, Spence. Let me go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and if that's the case, I gotta go with Tyler, the Creator.
Exactly.
Like, there's out of all of these, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion. Even though you may disagree, I think Meg Thee Stallion can rap. I've listened to stuff.
I never said she couldn't rap, but like the argument with her is it's like I don't understand why she's in some of these categories when she's really not putting out music. She'll put out like one song, a song that nobody's really talking about, or she'll be like on a feature here, a feature there. Like this 2021, it's not been a great year for Meg Thee Stallion when it comes to music. I think it's been a year for Meg Thee Stallion for things outside of music. So for her to be nominated in some of these categories, I'm just kind of like, why? Like, can we discuss? I'll put it like this. Wait till we get to the hip hop album of the year, and you'll see what I'm saying.
What happens to be next?
So hip hop album of the year: The Gangsta Pain by Moneybagg Yo, Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler, the Creator, Culture 3 by Migos, Good News by Meg Thee Stallion.
When did this come out? Keep going. I'm
Good News by Meg Thee Stallion, Khaled by DJ Khaled, Savage Mode 2 with 21 Savage and Metro Boomin, The Off Season with J. Cole. Okay, so this is the last category I'm going to talk about. Do you see what I'm saying? Hip hop album of the year is supposed to be what? The best rap album, right?
Right.
Some of these here you could definitely take out.
No, I'll give you that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. So I'm looking at this, and I only see 2 albums on here you could keep in here for hip hop album there. The Off Season with J. Cole and Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler. Those are 2 albums that should be considered for a rap album of the year. Everything else, whether you like them or not, these are not cherished as, hey, this is the best of the best. I mean, if you guys really want to talk about it, we could talk about it. Because I'm telling you right now, there's nothing you could tell me and say that the other albums outside of Tyler and Cole deserves this spot compared to all the music that's come out this year.
Here's what I'll say, right?
I'll go ahead.
I think that some of these albums being in here, I'm not necessarily mad at them being in the album of the year thing, being the Migos album. I'm not necessarily mad at it being nominated. I don't think Savage Mode 2 should be in there just because it's not anywhere near, this year's release, but whatever. We all, been over that. But like, I think that those 3 albums should at least be in consideration.
So you just added one more album.
Hold on. Hold on. How do you put Culture 3 in there and not A Gangsta's Pain by Moneybagg Yo?
And Moneybagg Yo.
I didn't listen to Moneybagg Yo, and the people that I talked to that listened to it, they were just like, "Hey, you know what you're getting when you listen to them. It's not some revolutionary music that everybody was talking about."
Oh, no.
Okay.
Well, it's not that. I'll give you that, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Boom. That's not rap album of the year category to me. If you're a fan of Moneybagg Yo, yeah, you're gonna like the album. But if it's not being discussed as the best piece of work of 2021, then why is that being nominated?
Well, we all know what that is.
What is that? I don't know what it is.
Bro, he was literally one of the biggest selling artists this year. That's what that is. Moneybagg.
He's the biggest.
Out of all these albums, he's probably sold more than anybody else that's in this list for this year.
Right. So he was also the first one to release.
Hey, that's neither here nor there.
No, okay, I see what you're saying, but all at the same time is just kind of like hip hop album of the year as it off of sales, man. Hip hop album of the year is fucking, because if that's the case, why is it Drake and Donda in here, which is probably going to surpass Moneybagg Gill's album sales by the end of the year?
If it hasn't already.
Yeah, if it hasn't already. So what I'm saying is just kind of like, this is not based off of sales. This is based off of, hey, this is the best body of work that's come out in 2021. And can you confidently say, yes, Moneybagg Gill should be able to compete with Tyler and J. Cole and the Migos album? Maybe you say the Migos album because I didn't put it in there. But Tyler and J. Cole are what I said. Can you confidently say that? Can you
I'm never you're never going to pinpoint me in a pigeonhole me in a spot where I'm going to say, oh, this Moneybagg Yo, which is the Gangsta's Pain, who knows what he can end up rapping about down the line.
Okay.
I'm not going to say this album is better than J. Cole's album or Tyler, the Creator's album. Like,
Thank you.
Not going to, I'll give you that. That's no problem. That doesn't bother me none. What I'm saying, my point is just that.
All right.
That from your standard, I totally understand. But from what I'm looking at from just why these people are here, right? I understand that Drake and Kanye, it would be dope if they were on here, especially if we're going off the biggest selling ones, right? I totally understand that. More than likely, it's a cutoff date because if anything, I would think you would see at least Kanye West in these nominations. But for whatever reason, it's whatever.
They're going to be in 2022's Hip Hop Awards.
Well, yeah, they'll definitely be in 2022. And that's the thing. We'll be talking about CLB later on about the same situation. But like, I don't know. To me, the way I see it is like this, right? It's been a year past since we probably spoke about this situation before. When are they going to update their system as far as like, actually getting these nominations correct? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it shouldn't take this long to get with the system. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's whoever is in charge of running the nominations lives under a rock and they don't listen to everything. No, I'm being really serious. Anytime you see something like the Shade Room being the best hip hop platform, that's crazy. Is the Shade Room known for people to go and look up rap music? No. The Shade Room only posts the popular shit like City Girls, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Moneybagg Yo, one of Spencer's favorites, Young Blue. They only post that. Favorites. Yeah, they won't post the Freddie Gibbs. They won't post the Griselda. They barely post Tyler. So like, that's the thing. I don't know how they're nominated for a hip hop platform. Now, if you're like, hey, celebrity, gossip, TMZ like place, yeah, they should be on there. Hip hop, really? Really? So that's why when you look at some of these nominations, you're kind of like, this is Hustler of the Year. That's an award?
Nah, that award makes no sense to me. Like, to me, I saw that and I said that makes no sense.
Hold on, who's nominated for Hustler of the Year? I gotta see.
Cardi B, Drake, Lil Baby, Meg Thee Stallion, Saweetie, Young Blue.
Technically speaking, aren't all of these guys hustlers?
Who's the best one? That's what we need to know.
There only could be one for the year, bro.
I mean, if that's the case, wouldn't Drake be the Hustler of the Year every year that he's nominated?
No.
Nah.
Why not? Why not? What's the criteria for being the most hustler? I thought it was who makes the most money, and we all know who makes the most money out of all these artists.
No, we don't, man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Listen, if that's the case, if that's the case, for real, we probably can go with. If that was the case, honestly, the Hustler of the Year would probably be Kanye West.
He's not nominated.
I thought you were about to say Alchemist.
That was actually something. That's something we got to give them credit for at least nominating him.
Producer of the Year.
Yeah, unfortunately, he won't get Producer of the Year. It doesn't even matter what year I'm basing this off of. Personally, I think Alchemist has been the producer of the year for 2020 and 2021. I'm willing to stand on that. Granted, there are plenty of people that would say that probably would go with preference of Hit Boy, DJ Khaled, Metro Boomin, but you probably like trap music. You probably like other music. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with that, but I prefer some gritty beats with some good lyricists. So,
man, shouts out to Alchemist. I'm rooting for you. I hope you get it. If Alchemist doesn't get it because, the Corrupted Award show, I hope Tyler gets it because I think he's an underrated producer. He's produced a lot of good tracks. He's extremely talented. If Tyler doesn't get it because their award show is super corrupted, I hope Hit Boy gets it because Hit Boy, he deserves to have his flowers. But you went into BET Award, it doesn't really mean anything. We could craft our own award show and it'll have the same equivalent. So what I'm saying is just, can we move on from this, please?
Alchemist, Hit Boy, Tyler for me.
Yeah, all right. I'm just going Alchemist. Well, yeah, because I did want to. I actually had an opinion. I wanted to ask you guys your opinion on this question.
Go ahead, Spencer.
I know.
I'm curious to hear what you're going to ask us.
Well, no, it's actually something that is related to the awards, and it's something from the Breakfast Club, right? So they were actually talking about the awards. All right. And somehow they got on to the BET nominations for Best Hip Hop Platform.
All right.
The nominations are Complex, Genius, Hip Hop DX, Hot New Hip Hop, Breakfast Club, Shade Room, World Star, and Double XL.
All right.
So the Breakfast Club, they talked about it, and they actually nominated who they believe should actually win this should be DJ Academics. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm not mad at that.
He should be in the nomination. You want to know why? When you go on his page, where it's mainly about rap, hip hop. That's what it's about.
Not for real. He should win.
All these crybaby, baby tune, auto-tune, crybaby artists and all that stuff, they all come from him. And when it comes to like numbers and weekly stuff and all that, he's one of the main people outside of other platforms like Rap TV or whatever that post that. Why is he not on there? Shade Room doesn't do none of that.
It's a gossip place, man.
Exactly. But they're nominated for a hip hop platform.
Listen, man, if
you talk to any girl that follows the Shade Room. Hey, do you get your rap news from? They're gonna be like, yeah, whatever they post, sure, but you're not checking the Shade Room for rap news.
Listen, man.
You check the Shade Room for rap news.
Listen, yes. No,
so,
because
so
when
you personally go out your way.
Yes, because when I
you're a Shade Roomer. You're a roommate.
You're a
roommate. You're a roommate. Hey, roommates.
Cut that whole shit, man.
Why? That was funny.
Yeah, you're a roommate.
You're a roommate. You should be proud of it.
Definitely not.
He said, yes, I am.
I was trying my best. I was like, yo, Rover Gang. That's what Shade Room told me. Top of the morning.
Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Come on.
Yeah, listeners, I'm unsure if you guys have heard, but Baby Keem, who is, I guess, would we say the first artist, or at least the first artist to put out an album, I'll say, on the PG Lane label, which is owned by Kendrick Lamar, which Baby Keem, who is his cousin, released an album called The Melodic Blue. And I'm not going to give my opinion first. I want you guys to talk about it. What did you both think about this album?
Spence be wanting us to jump out the gate and hate before he gets his hate out.
It's not even hate. I'm just asking a question. I'm conversationalist, right?
I have a little bit of hate. I'm not gonna lie, but it's only a slight bit. Me personally, I wasn't the biggest fan of this album. I listened to it. I tried to really give it a chance 2 or 3 times, and I just wasn't. It's just really not for me. I think that personally, there are people who will like it, and I think some of his more melodic songs are a little bit more palatable for me. But overall, I just don't really like the album.
I listened to the album twice. Once, It was very hard to get through it. It was like eating Popeye biscuits.
Mm.
But once
no drinks.
Exactly, no drinks. That's why it was very hard. Next year, once I got a glass of water, I was able to listen to the album a second time. And I was just like, never again. This album is a bad album. I don't understand how people are saying this is better than Donda. I don't understand how people are saying this is better than CLB. Baby Keem, he's just simply not a good artist. I think he, and it's my fault for taking him seriously. Maybe if I listened to him like I was listening to a Soulja Boy or a Lil B, maybe I would have enjoyed the album. Maybe I would have seen for what it was. But I listened to this for hope of, oh, well, this is Kendrick's cousin. Well, Family Ties was a dope song. Maybe he's actually, he given up his former lifestyle to actually rap. Nope. This song, just the first song alone, Trademark USA. The song starts out, boom, beat switch. And I was like, oh, I'm fucking with this beat switch. Then boom, 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 beat switch again. And I'm like, what is he doing? And that's like the tail of the album. Just a lot of shit going on in each fucking track. And I don't fucking get it. Even the most popular song, Rage Brothers. That's where the Top of the Morning is coming from. That's where the Let's Get This Shit is coming from. That's because that song has 3 fucking songs in one song. And that's the narrative of the fucking album. It's like he's doing so much. And when he does this auto-tune thing, it sounds like a little brat baby that needs his ass whipped. It's just too much, man.
Well, real quick before you say anything, I was saying to y'all before, like it sounds like a mix of Playboi Carti and Kendrick Lamar. So, I mean, the baby voice kind of fits in with that whole theme. You know what I mean?
Right. But we know what we're getting with Playboi Carti. This guy, we're like, hey, man, there's a lot of hype. Kanye's fucking with him. Drake is fucking with him. Kendrick is fucking with him.
Yeah, expectations were high.
Exactly.
Okay.
And on top of it, you got to think, it's Kendrick Lamar, right? I think this plagues every artist that gets signed to another artist in some capacity. It's Kendrick Lamar, bro. So we're already thinking, if Kendrick Lamar thinks you're the next one or the next big talent, you must be something. And then we find out, oh, you come from the same lineage as this man, right? You think, okay, this has to be a really great album. And it's not. It lacks my expectations weren't extremely high, but I had certain standards anytime we see Kendrick Lamar attached to anything, whether it's something musical, whether it's something lyrical, whether it's something story-based, whatever. He's always been able to stay within a creative space that's palatable and still be able to deliver. Him having an artist, you would think he would have an artist that would be the same way, or he could guide him down the right path. Like Lau said, this album's all over the place. It does sound like Playboi Carti a lot. It sounds like Kendrick Lamar. I seen a tweet that even said, it sounds like Kendrick Lamar's one of his voices escaped off his album. That was funny. And became a person. And this is what we have. Now, don't get me wrong. Family Ties is a pretty good song. And Do-Rag Activity is a pretty good song. Do-Rag Activity may be actually the one song I really like on this album. But other than that, for me, it's like a 1 out of 5, maybe 2 out of 5.
I'm not mad at your thing. You gave it a better rating than I would have. But the second song, right after Trademark USA, it's like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
Exactly.
To me, when I listened to the album, I was just like, I feel like there is somebody out there who likes it, but it's just not me. I don't know. Like, when I listened to it, I tried to just think of him as his own dude. And like, I hear certain things in his music that I just don't like. But it's like, for me, the expectations were, hey, this is Baby Keem. Because it wasn't until long ago I knew he was even Kendrick's cousin in the first place. Right. So when I heard the music, I think it sounds like he's an artist that honestly is like kind of new to a couple things, if I'm being honest. But I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. He's pretty young, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's like 21.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's not old at all.
Yeah, he's super. My bad. Go ahead.
I'm not sure how long he's been rapping. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
I know Kendrick Lamar even wrote for him before. So, like, even then, you get what I'm saying? Where it's like you're being coached by the best. Now, granted, typically, we see it in a lot of other sports where the greatest typically are not the best coaches or not the best GMs. So maybe it is probably the same in music, unfortunately, where maybe Kendrick is plagued with this curse as well. But it's like you have he just has what other people just dream of having on their first day out.
He wastes it fucking just like he's at fucking Chuck E. Cheese.
But
at a karaoke machine. It's ridiculous.
But bro, even Kendrick Lamar is co-signing this though. That's
to me. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, that's
he's the one.
That's trash. People. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Trust me, you're going to say it's trash if you're putting money behind.
I know what you.
Yeah, like they're invested into. At the end of the day, granted, it's his cousin, but his cousin is signed to him. So you're financially, he's invested in this.
Then that's just double the reason to say yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what's he supposed to do?
I'm not going to say yes to something that's trash if I know I'm making a return off what you put out.
Right. But what if Kendrick, right, is kind of like, I know this is what the kids like today. I'm not saying this is what I like. And that's why we heard two different kinds of That's why we heard on the Range Brothers, I've never heard of Kendrick Lamar like that before. Where his ad-libs are so like fucking nonchalant and he's kind of in crazy schemed songs where he's on the fourth song on the same track. Like, it's just, I've never heard that kind of Kendrick before. Now, I found it entertaining, it's funny, but we all collectively agree the Range Brother song is not a good song. So yeah, it's entertaining and we'll top of the morning, top of the morning, top of the, that's not rapping. So like, we enjoy that because it's like, haha, it's entertaining. But mainly the album is just not good. But maybe Kendrick, him being a businessman, probably was like, look, I don't fucking rap like this. And for my album, is complete night and day compared to this. But I know that I could get my cousin some sales. I know his demographic is going to fuck with it. When you listen to Baby Keem, he ain't talk about real life shit. He's talking about fucking girls. So like,
you're right though.
Yeah, he's not talking about anything of importance. Like, you know what I mean? So the demographic, the young 21, 22-year-old group, that young age, and we used to be in our young 20s. Yeah, we paid attention to shit in society, but we didn't give a fuck. We weren't deep into that shit. We didn't give a fuck about that. We were trying to live our lives and enjoy being young. You know what I mean? Now we're more conscious of everything that goes on in the world. That comes with us being wise in age. So that type of music kind of turns out, we don't fuck with that type of music really. You know, maybe some of it we can enjoy, but not all of it.
Here's my thing. Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is like, I'm not mad. I mean, I could see Kendrick supporting Baby Keem with it because Baby Keem is 21 years old. And if that's how Baby Keem wants to rap, why is Kendrick going to be like, well, you know, I'm going to, revoke all my funds and support and access, find it, struggle on your own. He's like, why would he do that? Like, why?
I'm looking at it from the business standpoint because everything you say, I agree with in the terms of like, hey, you're going to let him put out the music he wants to put out in terms of allowing an artist to be as creative as they want to be. So like, I understand that part, but I guess I'm just looking at it from that standpoint of less of the creative side and just more of like, okay, if you my mans and I sign you to whatever contract, $50,000, $60,000, $100,000, 5 albums, you know what I'm saying? You'll never get out of your publishing and you'll be a slave to me for the rest of your life until you're like your mid 50s, mid 40s. Right? If I give you one of those contracts, I'm expecting like some hits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, granted, we do live in a different world today. To me, a lot of his music sounds like, and I guess it makes sense. It sounds like YouTube rap. Like, and I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but there are like certain artists that have millions of views, millions of subscribers on YouTube that I've never heard of before, but they have these hit. Granted, now you can buy views and stuff like that. We all know that. Views, followers, likes, all that. Luckily, at our podcast, we don't do that, but but we know there are people out there that do it. Shout outs to y'all. But yeah, you have rappers that are like that make music like his. That I get what you're saying, where we may have aged out of the music, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know. I guess to me, it's like, if you're gonna just make YouTube rap, just make YouTube rap, and I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's that confliction of just knowing, like, maybe I've out-aged myself when it comes to an artist like this.
You just have higher expectations.
Exactly.
What were you gonna say, Nigel?
No, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh, okay.
I was listening.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I just think the Melodic Blue, it was 2 thumbs down. That's an album that's not for me or my peers. Maybe some kid that's listening to the podcast would enjoy it. Maybe some kid, they're gonna hear this shit and they're gonna think like, this is our Kendrick. Maybe they're gonna think that shit. I'm just saying, maybe they're gonna think that. I don't fucking know. So go ahead,
real quick, I will say one thing. Like, my thing is this, right? I think overall, the reason why Playboi Carti's music works to me and this music doesn't is because, like, I like the way Playboi Carti's music sounds overall. You know what I mean? Like, there's aspects of this album that I like. Oh, Spence, you see the shifty eyes.
I didn't see anything. Eye shifting. Finish your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I was about to say, we'll get into that in a second. But I feel like when Playboi Carti makes music, I just like the way it sounds. Playboi Keem's, I like aspects of it, but not his overall music. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, there are, like, and I agree to that aspect in terms of Baby Keem, of liking parts and not all. Of course, like, I'm not a big fan of Playboi Carti personally.
Shame on you, man.
I mean, hey, listen, he had y'all waiting for the Narcissist album to drop and he didn't drop it, right?
Well, to me and Nigel's defense, we weren't waiting for the fucking album.
Thank you, Lon.
We actually both predicted, like, he might not even drop it on time, because that's just what he does. He's one of these fucking artists that, like, I'm dropping on this shit, and just don't fucking drop it.
Thanks for talking for Nigel, Lau.
Hey,
he's trying to throw his shots.
No, I'm not. Not even. Look, Lau just made good points.
Nah, you're like 6'9" with whack 100. Get that.
Nah, not even. Hey, look, when Lau makes good points, he makes good points. I'm not mad at his points.
So honestly, man, I don't care if this guy releases Narcissist or not. I just don't. Because, like, if he releases it, cool, I will listen to it, and I'm pretty sure I'll find some entertaining songs off the album. I already heard 2 leaks off the album, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'll definitely listen to the album. One song was with Drake, which I thought was cool. But if the album never comes out, this is the story of this man's career. His career has been defined by album snippets. And then when he does release an album, yeah, people will like it and enjoy it. He went #1, right? So shouts out to him. Well, a whole lot of red, I guess. But his music isn't for everybody. But he knows his cult following is always going to keep him alive and relevant as one of the bigger artists of the SoundCloud era. So, like, if he doesn't drop Narcissist, cool. When he does drop it, we'll be listening to it. Well, at least me and Nigel will.
Yeah.
I will. You'll have to. I mean, you have to listen to it for the podcast, Spence. But
I don't have to do it.
He didn't even listen to a whole lot of Red. He said he turned it off. He said he didn't really listen to any of it.
Yeah, he said he listened to a whole lot of snippets.
But you know something? Because of that conversation we had, like, last week or the other week, it forced me to listen to this Baby Keem album, because bro, literally, I think I got to track 3 and I was about to turn it off.
Yo,
it's hard to listen, man.
It's challenging. It's like fucking trying to bench press 350 pounds.
Yeah, and you never did a push-up before.
Exactly. Yeah. exactly. So like,
My chest is weak. Let me tell you, man.
Boy,
so, hey, listeners, if you have a condition and you can't do a push-up, 100% understandable. But if you're a young man,
this man will talk about how he will break someone's neck, put his foot on someone's ass, all of this, and then be like, listen, if you can't do a push-up, it's totally fine.
No, it's okay.
Here at the podcast, we totally understand. But for you other jabronis,
wow.
Yeah, I'm put you in the stone cold stunner. I'm gonna pick you up and make sure your neck lands on the steel chair. So that's what I'm gonna do. But like for real though, like
figuratively speaking.
For real though, shouts out to Playboi Carti. You know, we fuck with Vampire Carti. So, but I just don't think his album's gonna drop when we expect it. So that's that. Anything else, guys, before we want to close out this roundabout show?
Two things. One thing I did want to say, speaking of concerts, Boldy James, he announced that his Bentayga or Bentayga, I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it, but he's actually going on tour. So that's actually interesting also. So shouts out to him.
Shouts out to Griselda.
Yeah. Did we ever get a chance to mention about Benny the Butcher and the Tana Talk 4?
What about it?
Yeah, what about it, man?
I believe it's didn't he put out something that saying that it's supposed to come out in October?
No, I didn't know that. That's your breaking news.
Well, let me verify that. But
when do y'all think Kendrick's dropping?
December.
I think he drops in October.
Damn. If he drops in October, everybody's going to push their albums out the way. Except for Westside. I think Westside, he would drop in October too.
Yeah, he would. He's going to drop whenever. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, Benny's going to drop whenever. You know what I mean? Anybody from Griselda, they're dropping no matter what. The plan's already in stone, as the boy said.
Yeah, but
yeah.
You got an update for us, Spence?
I can't find the comment, but
wow.
Nah.
Damn,
can't.
Bro.
Nah.
Wow.
Damn.
Man.
Well, the Dave Meltzer of hip hop reporting.
I do have a question for you, Spence, before we get out of here, since you can't find information on that. How was it seeing your cousin get married to his two wives?
You talking about Uncle Umar?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a beautiful thing, man. Shout outs to him, man. He finally got his two wives. Conscious. I think he got married at his conscious cookout.
Conscious
nice.
cookout.
Okay.
What was everybody being conscious about?
You know what I'm saying? His message, and then he had to remind people that you got to donate. Yeah.
Well, okay. So that's what the conscious cookout was about, the donations.
Right. Yes.
To make you consciously aware to donate. That's what it's about, to make you consciously aware to donate.
Hey man, listen. That school's not gonna build itself.
I hear you, man.
It's not gonna build itself with donations either, apparently.
Yeah. Do we have anything else for the listeners before we get out of here?
Nah. Oh, actually, so I actually had it backwards. So it's the Burden of Plugs tour. That starts October 7th by Benny the Butcher. But he apparently is saying, ending my year off with Burden of Plugs tour starting October 7th in Atlanta, and Tana Talk 4 on the way. Get tickets at Griselda FRX.
Shout out to Griselda, as always.
Yeah. As always, man. As always.
Sir. Shouts out to them.
It sucks that Benny the Butcher's a Buffalo fan. He had to go through that on Sunday. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you should honestly, when you see him, you should say something about that.
I should let him know.
Yeah, let them know what the Bills have become.
You know what you can let them know? Where to follow us at.
Oh, about that, where they could follow us. Well, it depends on where they want to start, right? So if you want to start following us, I guess, just to get updated on the posts and stuff like that, like when the episode's coming out, I would advise you to go to our Instagram, which would be the Highly Advised Podcast. But if you're trying to check out our thoughts, see what we're thinking, X, Y, and Z like that. More definitely when it's a live event, I would say follow us on Twitter at Advise Highly. Of course, you know where the streaming platforms are. So you know it's the Highly Advised podcast at any place. You're probably listening to this on a streaming platform. But if you aren't and watching it on YouTube, the Highly Advised podcast on any streaming platform. And last but not least, if you want to see our lovely face, follow us on YouTube at the Highly Advised podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know. Share to a friend. Tell us what you like, what you dislike. Tell us the things that we didn't even think about. For real, for real. Let us know something that we don't know that we can inform you on, or that actually, if anything, we can actually call you up and maybe you could be a surprise guest one day. You never know. Anything can happen in the fold. So
anything's possible.
Anything's possible, man. Any given Sunday, right?
Yes. Yep. Speaking of that, shouts out to the Steelers one more time. And
hey,
shouts out to McKee Sport and Clarendon. And shouts out to all of, the people who are listening to this for us. Shouts out to when we lose, hey man, we lost. We'll take a bad loss. And it is what it is. But we ain't lose this weekend. So shouts out to us.
Hey man. Keep that skin thick for when y'all do take that loss.
I did last year. I'll do it again.
You didn't take it well, man.
You did.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Wow.
Everybody leave now.
That's crazy.
That's wild, man. You gotta get something. You gotta check your anger, man.
We lost and didn't stop losing either. We didn't start winning until Sunday. I'm gonna be happy about that game we won.
Yeah,
okay,
yo, man. You fucking took down that Steelers shit behind you.
Wow.
This man goes on a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah.
Becomes 1-5. It's like, yo, listen. It's like, yo, Najee, I suggest that you just take that thing down, put up just put up a flag.
Yeah, man.
I need more Steelers shit. Actually,
put up a picture of Umar or something of his school, something. FDMG.
Imagine having a picture of Dr. Umar in my room with me. How crazy is that? It's just a picture of Dr. Umar's face behind my head.
Yeah, just do that.
How about this? I'll make
consciousness a bet. Over coochie, man.
I'll make a bet with y'all. If the Steelers have a worse record by the end of the year, then I'm not going to say your team, Spence, because your team's kind of all right. But your team's kind of all right too, but they just lost Fitzpatrick. So I'll say if we have a worse record than Lau's team, all right, y'all have the background of choice.
Okay.
In the episode for, I'll say 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right.
So hold on. So in 2 weeks, whoever has between the Steelers and the Skins or Washington, what's the team's called?
I'm saying at the end of the season,
the football team.
At the end of the season, if they have a better record than us, y'all get to choose my backgrounders for 2 weeks. Well,
that's a bet.
All right.
That's a bet.
All right.
Hold on. That's a bet. We get to pick your background for 2 weeks.
If the Washington Redskins have a better record than the Steelers.
Team. Washington football.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, don't cut this part out. Leave this part in and post this on the podcast episode.
Okay, that's fine. I have confidence in the Steelers to do that.
Listeners, you are hearing it live from us first. Episode 73. Nigel has accepted a wager. Hill Jackson himself has accepted the wager of the Steelers having a better record than Washington's football team. What do you feel about that? Do you think it's possible? They're 1-0. They're 0-1. 2 weeks we can put up Dr. Umar, whatever we want. Actually, honestly, I think the fans should pick.
The fans should pick. I agree with that. And it can't be anything super explicit, fans. So whatever.
Anything y'all want, man.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what falls on the rule books.
So there's rule books now?
Yeah. We'll have to look through that.
Oh man, listen, I'm gonna get you a big blown up hit of Dr. Umar, man.
That'd be crazy. Where did you get this?
So listen, man, I ordered it in September.
Are we ready to get out of here, y'all?
Yeah,
we're ready, man. We're just about ready.
Yeah, I don't have anything else. You guys got anything else?
I'm relaxing. LG_Jackson.
I'm Spence, otherwise known as Saint Kitch. Drink your water, wear your mask.
And it's me. See you guys later.
Rover Gang.
Big Cozy, Too Cozy. Rover Gang.
Cozy Gang.
He's Baby Keem. You've been highly advised. This Highly Advised podcast. We will see you next week.
You've been highly advised.
Adios.